So most people think custom shop just means more expensive, but that's not the real difference. This is an ESP Eclipse Original Series, a custom shop guitar. And compared to an E2, some differences are real and some others are probably not worth the money. But let me explain. If you're expecting a completely different guitar, you won't get that. This is the same platform, just push one step further. So the real question remains, what are you actually paying for? On paper, this looks almost identical. Same shape, same concept, same DNA. But the differences show up in execution. You're not paying for any new feature actually, you're just paying for those little refinements. When you first hold an ESP Eclipse custom shop in your hands, the first thing you notice is not any particular spec. It's mainly how the guitar feels in your hand, how it balances on your body, how it resonates, etc. The fretwork is cleaner or immaculate in this case. The binding is more precise. It doesn't feel like a different guitar, don't get me wrong. It feels like the same guitar done even better. Once you go past the first impression, you start noticing the little details. You've got all metal parts, including the truss-rod cover and the jack plate. And every single visual element of the guitar has been perfectioned. And you might think, okay, but a truss-rod cover is just cosmetic. And you're not wrong. But it tells you something important about the philosophy of the builders of this guitar, which is nothing here feels like it was chosen to save or cut costs. The custom shop compared to the regular production of course uses higher grade of woods. I know you're not going to hear a night and day difference, especially compared to an E2 Eclipse. At the end of the day, those are just slabs of mahogany painted with some hardware and some pickups. But unplugged, you'll feel that the guitar is naturally resonant in all the right parts. The sound is very balanced, it's projected uniformly and across all notes and all registers, and this is something a bit more rare to find in production models for different reasons. For instance, custom shop guitars tend to use higher grade of woods which also have been dried correctly and for longer. For those of you who don't really know about it, and this is a very simplified take, but the drier the wood is, the better it will sound. Talking about the finish of this particular model, the Andromeda Finish, it's just stunning. And the color shifts depending on angle and lighting. It's so pretty to see. You might look down at your guitar and you will see like a petrol green guitar, but then you move the guitar just a tiny bit and you start to see the purple and the reddish shade of it. And then from another perspective, it looks almost like blue. So it's something that really has to be seen in person to appreciate it to its full extent. I'll admit it, I was never too much into this type of finish. But since starting buying ESP Eclipses, I started to appreciate their unique take at finishes way more. And as a matter of fact, all my two Eclipses have what someone coming from Gibson will define as non-standard tops. A blue natural fade Eclipse, and then I have a granite sparkle, which is just glam, and I love it. And now I have this custom shop Eclipse, which has this Andromeda finish. And I'll tell you what, those finishes start to get appreciated, especially when you start playing live shows and you're playing with the stage lights, because the moment the light hit your guitar, it starts making wonders and magic. But let's talk about hardware. So we have a Tone Pros locking bridge, and for those of you who don't know, Tone Pros bridges are basically go-to bridges with a couple of screws installed. In this case, it's literally the same bridge that you will find on an E2. On the other hand, the tailpiece is from a much superior series, the 500 series from Goto. So on the ESP E2 Eclipse, the regular production model, you'll find the typical Goto 101 tailpiece, which in most cases and across I think all E2 actual production guitars is made of zinc. In some cases I think Eclipses need the zinc tailpiece because compared to Les Pauls they don't really have all that low mid content, and the zinc is providing that girth and that body that you probably need when riffing. But in this case the Goto 500 series is made from a solid one piece of aluminum, and it's also locking on top of having a very cool design. So this guitar is usually shipping with EMG headset or James Hetfield set. I didn't buy the guitar new, I bought it used and mine wasn't stock. It came with the EMG Flat 55, which are not bad pickups. I tested them, I actually like them for some applications. But as with every other guitar that I owned, I experimented with it and I've run several different pickup sets in it until I found what I liked. And I would like to emphasize that every time I tested different sets of pickups in the guitar, regardless of the pickup voicing and output, the guitar always responded correctly. It wasn't really picky or fighting with the pickup, something that actually happened with my other two Eclipses. So is a custom shop Eclipse worth it? Against an LCD, and if you have the budget for it, absolutely yes, no question whatsoever. Against an E2, especially given the huge price gap, I'm not really sure. Because the difference is real, but it's not dramatic. You're paying for refinement, you're not paying for transformation or consistent upgrades that will change the sound and the output drastically. If you expect this to blow the E2 out of the water, you will be disappointed, but this is also a testament to how good E2 guitars actually are. They are really underrated guitars. And of course, the elephant in the room, if you want ESP logo on your headstock, you have to buy a custom shop. Or I use the Eclipse Standard series from before they changed the name. So my final thoughts are that this is definitely a keeper. It's not a better guitar compared to my E2 in a dramatic way, but it's a better guitar in a way I will feel over time, when I'll just start playing it and appreciating every little detail and every thought behind the master luthiers that built this spectacular piece of musical equipment. So that was the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!